After years of breakage and trial and error, these are the 6 things that actually helped my hair grow and retain length on my fine natural hair. So if you've been stuck at the same length, if your hair's been breaking off, if you can't just seem to pinpoint what it is that is going wrong, this video is for you. I'm going to share with you the 6 things that actually work. What's up, curlies? Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Kiki, and if you are new here, I do all things curly hair tips, product reviews and styling. Today's video is all about the 6 things that actually grew and helped me retain length on my fine natural hair versus what didn't work. So a little bit of context, my hair has been stuck at bra strap length for the past 3 years. It has been there since 2022, and during that time I was doing a lot of things, really being consistent with my routine, and ultimately I took this for granted and kind of just fell off, got a little bit complacent, and here we are now 3 years later, still stuck at bra strap length. So my goal over the next 6 months is actually to get to waist length or pretty close, and through the past 6 months I've learned so much about my hair because it's actually gone from this where it was in March to this where it is now. You can see that there's been so much improvement in the thickness, in even the colour. It looks a lot darker, it looks a little bit darker. The split ends are not so much towards the mid shaft of my hair, they're more at the ends, and overall my hair just kind of filled out with length and thickness. And clearly I've been doing something right over these past 6 months, and I'm going to share with you the 6 things that have actually helped me grow my hair today. So the first thing that has actually helped is gentle handling versus over manipulation. So by these, when it comes to handling your fine hair, typically it breaks off a lot easier and a lot quicker than someone who has coarse hair, and we really need to baby our fine hair because of this reason. So when it comes to detangling, what's been really useful for me is that I've been doing a pre-poo before I do my shampoo, so using things like flaxseed gel and a bonding treatment, and actually pre-detangling my hair gently before I then go in with my actual wash day has really been a godsend. And I think ultimately the detangling part is where a lot of us go wrong. We maybe use the wrong tools, we maybe are a little bit too rough, or we maybe are just letting our hair get tangled in general. And the main thing for me was the single strand knots, and that comes from tangling. So the more you can wear your hair in a stretched state, you can minimize those tangles a lot, and obviously keeping it with trims and stuff like that. But the first point is gentle handling versus over manipulation. You do not want to be in your hair too much. You want to make sure you just do a style that you can rock for like a week or 2, and you're not constantly having to slick your hair back, change up the style every single day, apply water every single day. All of these things are what increases the amount of manipulation, and ultimately that can lead to a lot more breakage than you may be prepared to endure. So that is number 1. So the second thing that actually worked and grew my hair was focusing on protein treatments versus just moisture. If we think to moisture and protein, a lot of the time we see and we hear that curly hair needs moisture. Moisture is pushed on us so much, and almost to the point where protein is not a focus and it's not at the forefront. But if you do have fine hair that is a lot more susceptible to breakage, you are going to want to strengthen your hair through using bond treatments and protein treatments. So something that I overlooked was just using a protein treatment every 2 weeks or at least monthly, because when I was doing this at the time during 2022, my hair was really thriving. So just moisture alone will not work. Yes, moisture is great. It can help us prevent any dryness and breakage that we may see, and ultimately what I was seeing is moisture overload, because I was doing moisture for my deep conditioners. I was then leaving my hair wet, and ultimately it was getting over moisturized and it was becoming way too elastic and mushy and all of that stuff. So what I did instead was I ultimately alternated between moisture and protein. Now, if your hair is not necessarily weak, you may not need to do this, but because my hair was so over moisturized, I felt like at the time I needed to do 1 week with a moisture deep conditioner and then 1 week with a protein deep conditioner to really kind of reset that protein and moisture balance. And ultimately, my hair has been loving it. I don't think I'm going to stop doing it for the moment. It's been really working for me. As you can see, the progress in my hair has been phenomenal this year. So I'm going to continue to do the moisture and protein deep conditioners on a weekly basis. The third thing that has helped me grow and retain length on my fine natural hair versus not is actually drying my hair with a blow dryer and using heat on wash days. Often we hear that heat is literally the devil, but it is not. As long as you know how to use it, when to use it, and how frequently you can use it, then it's perfectly fine. So what I have been doing recently is either I've been doing my styles on blown out hair, or I have actually been drying the twists and the protective styles after I've installed them if it is on wet hair. So usually what I will do is I will put twists in my hair and then I will sit under a bonnet hairdryer for at least 30 minutes and make sure my twists are adequately dry before I then just leave it for the rest of the night. So where I was going wrong before was I was air drying and I was leaving my hair wet overnight and into the hours of the next day, which ultimately caused my hair to become over moisturized and really weaken and break. And I will never ever make that mistake again. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to continue to ensure that whatever style I'm doing, my hair is dry at the time on the day that I wash and style it. The fourth thing that has helped me grow my fine natural hair versus not is actually keeping up to date and frequent trims. Trims are a really nuanced one. I think if you don't need to trim, then you shouldn't trim just for the sake of it. However, I usually find with fine hair girls that our ends can be really thin anyway, and we tend to get a lot of split ends easier. And when you blow your hair out and you see what your hair actually looks like, you will realize that you need a trim. And for me, going every 3 months and keeping that rotation has been very useful in just managing the split ends, the single strand knots, and the overall fullness and thickness of my hair. So prior to that, I actually tried to stretch my hair before and go 6 months. It did not work for me. And I think in combination with a lot of the other things I was neglecting at the time, that's probably why it didn't work. It probably just wasn't the trims alone, but it definitely didn't help, and it meant that my hair growth journey was stunted. So what I have been doing this year is I've been making sure I've gone every 3 months to get a trim. And although this is something I'm kind of working towards stretching, I'm still going to keep a regular, frequent trim schedule. So at the moment, I'm going to focus on going every 4 months, being that now my hair is a lot less damaged than it was before. But at the time, it was pretty split. At the time when it was pretty split and damaged at the end, I think 3 months is a really good timeline to go and keep up with trims, to be honest, because I was trying to get rid of some of that damage and some of the split ends, which I have done now. What you don't want to do is avoid trim just for the sake of attaining your hair length goals. Now, curly hair can be really deceiving when it comes to trims. We can't really see what the state of the hair is in when it's curly. And the only way to do this is if you actually blow your hair out and you get a good look at the ends and you see what needs to come off, or if you've got split ends, etc, etc. So don't be afraid of blowing your hair and stretching your hair out. It won't necessarily damage your hair as long as you do it not too high and use heat protection, but really keeping an eye on those ends for length retention is going to be crucial in retaining length and growing your hair long. The fifth point that actually helps my fine hair grow and retain length is protective styles. And with protective styling, I do not mean anything with added hair. I'm talking about using my own hair and making sure that it stays moisturized moisturized and stretched. Ultimately, what is important is that my hair is in a stretched state. When it is left alone to curl up on itself, that is when I see a lot of single strand knots and more split ends and breakage that is needed, as opposed to when it is either in twists or braids and it's stretched out. I can moisturize it really easily, and I can use oil and grease and all of that stuff, and my hair has been really thriving from being in a stretched state. So this is something I'm going to continue doing versus wearing wash and goes. So I'm not saying that wash and goes are something that is going to be detrimental to you retaining length. They are not. Many people do retain length using wash and goes, but if you have fine hair and you find that your hair is getting tangled quite easily in a wash and go state, or you find it hard to moisturize or retain length, or you get a lot of single strand knots, then maybe consider doing stretched styles or protective styles more often. And I guarantee that you will see a lot more improvement with your hair if you do something stretched. I can count on one hand the amount of wash and goes I've done this year, and I can really tell, my hairdresser can tell when I've not done wash and goes, and I can ultimately tell because my ends are just a lot better and there's a lot less knots. The main issue for me are the single strand knots, and being that my hair is high density and fine, it's just a recipe for disaster when I get to that day 3 and day 4 of wearing a wash and go. So for me, twists, braids, anything stretched has been a godsend. The sixth thing that has actually grown my hair, and I'm not even talking retain length, I'm talking the growth of my hair, it is nutrition and diet versus only caring for my hair externally. So in terms of nutrition, I'm usually someone who keeps up with a good diet. I eat very healthily. I wouldn't say I'm on a diet, but I do watch what I eat. I do make sure that I get lots of protein, I drink lots of water, I eat my fruits and veggies and all of that stuff, and I do take supplements alongside that. And ultimately, I feel like my hair has been able to reap the benefits of this because it does stay strong, especially in combination with all of the things that I mentioned in the video. If you have a poor diet, it will affect your hair. So if you are maybe concerned about the amount of vitamins and minerals you are getting or lack of, I would recommend that you obviously go and get a blood test by your doctor or your GP and make sure that everything is in working order and where it should be, because ultimately, if you are not getting the right nutrients into your body, your hair will suffer and it can break a lot easier as a result of that. So this is really versus only caring for your hair externally. Yes, it's great to do deep conditioners, hot oil treatments, pre-poos, protective styles, all of that stuff, but that will only get you so far if your diet is not on point. And yes, there are many people who probably grow very long hair with a trash diet, but it's not only that. Obviously, you want to make sure that your body's healthy, your skin is healthy, and everything is in working order. So really prioritizing your health from the inside is key to retaining and growing long, healthy, thick, full hair. Hope you found this video really useful on the 6 things that actually worked and grew my hair versus what didn't. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that I've missed or there's something that's really resonated with you, and I will see you in the next video.